discuss for just a moment what we were talking about, the chemicals that are so powerful in our body. When you go into fear, and a lot of our work is relieving fear, stress, which is related to fear. And when you go into a state of fear, you release catecholamines, which take the oxygen away from the center of your body and put it into our, legs and arms so that we can run away from the lion. But it continues to happen no matter when we go into fear that way. So when you get to relieving stress, you release endorphins, which are 50 times more powerful than morphine. I hope everyone heard that. Endorphins, our own natural relaxant, is 50 times more powerful than morphine. And the way you relieve endorphins, what are the ways? Relaxation.
Oh, yes, relaxation, yes, and
laughter.
Passion.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And in hypnobirthing, that's one of the things that we say that is, I've only heard said a few times, that if you come in, having the way we get pregnant is totally orgasmic and usually a wonderful experience, not always, but you can also have birth having the same experience. If you come in that way, you can come out that way. So these techniques can really assist in those processes.
Immensely so.
Yes.
And the peripheral benefits are profound because it's takes us into deeper aspects of our own being, and that just touches upon every aspect of life. When we release fear, when we know that we are unlimited beings, and we go deeper and deeper in experiencing what that means, it touches everything, and it touches everybody in our world, and it just keeps rippling out. So this is where it just gets immensely beautiful.
Yes. So let's go back again to surgery for a moment.
Okay.
And I thought that was a really wonderful subject that you were touching on in dentistry. Besides pain relief, because we know that's very powerful for pain relief. I mean, people have surgery without any Novocaine or any anesthesia at all. But also, one of the ways that it's very powerful is to use as a support. So if you choose to have surgery, when you go into a deep state, you can get a person to relax so their blood pressure is reduced, so that when they do have surgery, the wound doesn't have blood rushing to it. The recovery time is much faster. The drugs are able to leave the body faster because you've put those suggestions in. And the body's really open to the power of the drug that you're using, so that it can really do its job, whatever that job is.
So you might need less medication
Exactly,
as well.
exactly. And I think another powerful part is that you're assisting the person in knowing that they have a healing team, and really connecting with the physician, the nurses, the anesthesiologists, everybody in the hospital experience is now really, with the help of the therapist, really anchored into that being as a support. And I feel like that's such a pivotal part of any kind of health issue.
Yeah, I think with regard to hypnobirthing, one of the testimonials that I treasure the most is a couple that ended up needing a cesarean section, and they chose to labor before that, and so they had this incredible intimate experience together in this beautiful relaxed way, and then when they went into the operating room, they were totally connected and relaxed, and the nurses and doctors were amazed at the level of relaxation and connection that this couple was, and then that recuperation time was minute compared to one based when there's fear and anxiety.
Yeah, and also for the baby, because I've had two of my hypnobirthing moms have C-sections, and the babies were nursing in an hour. So the amount of drugs that was present and getting passed through the placenta must have been much less, because everybody was relaxed and calm and soothed, and it was just another part of the process without drama.
Well, that you say that the baby was nursing within an hour is also a kind of an affirmation of what you were saying about the baby not taking on the medication, because babies tend to not be able to be focused and present enough for a good while after birth if they are so medicated that so many births have. So that's a beautiful
Yeah, that's
illustration.
really. And I know the hospitals here are really open to hypnobirthing. They're open to other modalities altogether, acupuncture and chiropractics. And so we're very blessed here to have on Kauai to have people that are open to alternatives besides just Lamaze or the Bradley breathing method.
I know people that are within the hospital system here that are going through the sacred birthing doula classes and just taking on these new perspectives so that they can bring this to the families that they're working with. It's very exciting.
Yes. So now let's discuss a little bit about some of the other ways that you use hypnotherapy. Maybe for emotional issues.
Well, I think the area that I'm most focused on these days is the areas of releasing past trauma, releasing past belief systems, expectations, internal patterns that are self-limiting and continue the pain cycles. And certainly with birth, where that comes in is it allows, if the parents go through these clearing processes, they go into birth without the fears around birth, without the constriction, and makes birth so much easier and easier for the baby. But if we take steps towards releasing our cultural baggage and belief systems that are self-limiting, if we take steps to clear our traumas, and that can go way back, this stuff, all that information is held within us.
Right.
All of it, beyond what we can even imagine.
Right.
It's there. And what I take into my work is the trust that the deep, wise consciousness of each person knows exactly how to access what they're ready for. And to watch people to come into themselves is one of the most glorious things of my life.
So as a therapist, when we're relaxing a person and getting them to be able to be open to their subconscious, the subconscious is what's going to bring up the information for the person to observe or to focus on. And I think this is part of what people are afraid of, that they think something's going to come up that's scary or that they won't want to see, or on that level. And my experience is that the subconscious brings to you exactly what's perfect. So if you're afraid, it's only going to bring what you can handle.
Exactly.
And if you're open, it's going to take you to deeper levels and you'll be able to do the work maybe faster, not necessarily, but I think that understanding that it's the subconscious part of us, it's a part of us that's showing up. And that as a therapist, we guide people to it to support them to find their own answers. And they do, because that inner healer that we have, that inner part of us that wants us to always be healed, is so powerful. And when you get to a hypnotherapist, it's because you really want to do the work.
Yeah, and it's the intention that you bring that is the key to the very thing that will clear and bring that balance in.
And today our intention was to bring clarity and balance to our subconscious issues. So it all worked together today perfectly. So now I wanted to ask you, what has inspired you, or what has maybe a client or a situation that has affected your life that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I had an experience some years ago in a session with a woman I worked with for quite some time. And she had very deep traumatic issues. And I love doing sessions, it only happens occasionally, but outside in nature. And this was out in the back of where I was living. There was a pond back there. And in the course of her inner journey, her session, she went to this place that was so beautiful, and it just held her in such a reverential and self-loving place that when she had received the healing that she came for, I just invited her to stay there for a while. And I always take notes when I'm working with people. And while she was there, I took the images that that came through her, and I wrote them in lyrical form. And by the end of the day, they became a song. And that song I have played at every class I've ever taught since then, the hypnotherapy school. It has touched many, many people. So it's a precious gift.